Las Vegas once sold itself as the land of cheap thrills, a place where ordinary Americans could walk into a neon fantasy, spend a little, and feel like kings. But in 2025, that illusion has collapsed. What was once the playground of the many has turned into a fortress for the few. The signs are everywhere. Deserted sidewalks where crowds once overflowed, casino floors half empty even on weekends, and tourists returning home with wallets drained by hidden charges and sky-high prices. And here's the truth no one wants to admit. Going to Las Vegas today is no longer an adventure. It's a trap. A trap so expensive, so out of touch that only fools still believe they are getting the Vegas experience. For everyone else, the city has become living proof of a much larger crisis, the spiraling cost of living in America. Think about it. You used to arrive in Vegas with a few $100s and leave with stories you'd brag about for years. Now, visitors are leaving with credit card bills they can't explain and disappointment that lingers longer than the hangover. What does that say, not just about Las Vegas, but about an economy where everything costs more, delivers less, and still expects your loyalty? If you believe Las Vegas is just having a rough patch, brace yourself. Because what's happening here is not an accident, it's a preview of where the rest of America is heading. And the 7 reasons why Las Vegas is collapsing will show you exactly how the cost of living crisis is rewriting the rules of the game. The price mirage. Las Vegas has always thrived on illusions. Bright lights, free drinks, and the promise that your dollar would stretch further here than anywhere else. But peel back the neon, and today's Vegas shows its cruelest trick, a city that looks affordable until you arrive, only to discover the mirage disappears the moment you spend a dime. It begins the second you book your room. Advertised rates might flash at $89 a night, but by the time resort fees, energy surcharges, and hospitality add-ons are piled on, that bargain explodes into triple digits. And once you're inside the resort, the spending doesn't stop. Coffee that should cost $2 suddenly rings up at 10. A quick lunch in a casual diner feels like fine dining prices anywhere else in America. Even the simplest conveniences, bottled water, parking, late checkouts, are monetized like luxury privileges. What makes this worse is the psychological sleight of hand. Visitors don't just pay more, they feel tricked. When every step of your trip reveals another hidden charge, you start to wonder if Las Vegas is still offering entertainment or just a slow bleed on your bank account. And that breeds anger, not loyalty. The tragedy is this: Vegas used to attract people because it was an escape from the financial grind of daily life. Now, it's become the very symbol of that grind, a reminder that in America's cost of living crisis, even your vacation has been hijacked by profit margins. The rigged game. Once upon a time, Las Vegas was built on the thrill of chance. You knew the odds favored the house, but there was always the belief that if luck smiled, you could walk away with more than you brought. That belief kept people coming back. But in today's Vegas, that trust has been broken. The rules have been rewritten, and not in your favor. Tables once filled with low-stakes players now demand minimum bets that lock out the average tourist. Slot machines, once a cheap distraction, have been reprogrammed with tighter payouts that drain cash at lightning speed. Even the promotions that used to lure guests, match play coupons, meal vouchers, free slot credits, have quietly disappeared, leaving players with little more than an expensive math lesson. And this is the heart of the betrayal. People don't mind losing when they feel the game is fair, but when the game itself is engineered to suffocate the possibility of winning, the illusion dies. Instead of excitement, there's only resentment. Instead of fun, there's fatigue. It's no coincidence that visitors are noticing this shift now, in the middle of a national crisis where every dollar counts. The casino floor has become a mirror of the American economy. The odds are stacked higher against ordinary people, while the house, in this case, the corporations, collects more than ever. Las Vegas didn't just tilt the games, it tilted the very idea of fairness, and once that illusion is gone, the magic can't be put back. The vanishing service. There was a time when Las Vegas meant indulgence. Bellhops greeted you at the curb, cocktails flowed freely at tables, and the smallest request was met with a smile. The service wasn't just good, it was part of the magic, the sense that for a weekend, you mattered. But that magic has been hollowed out. Step into a modern resort and you'll notice what's missing. Fewer staff, fewer smiles, and fewer moments of genuine hospitality. Check-in that once involved a friendly clerk is now handled by a touchscreen kiosk. Housekeeping that used to be daily is offered only by request. Want to ask about dinner options? You're directed to an app that feels more like a customer service maze than a guide to entertainment. For guests, the message is unmistakable. You're no longer valued, you're processed. A trip to Las Vegas has begun to resemble an airport terminal, efficient, impersonal, and forgettable. What once set this city apart, the warmth of being taken care of, has been stripped away in the name of cost cutting. And here's the cruel irony. As service disappears, prices rise. Visitors are paying more than ever for less than they've ever received. In an era when Americans are already stretched thin, that combination feels like an insult. Instead of escaping the stress of everyday life, travelers find themselves trapped in a premium-priced machine that no longer cares whether they're happy, only whether they've paid. This isn't hospitality, it's a transaction, and it leaves people wondering why they should bother coming back at all. The shrinking choices. Vegas used to be a city of endless options. You could wander off the strip, stumble into a small lounge, discover a quirky buffet, or catch a low-cost magic show that felt like your own secret find. That unpredictability was part of the adventure, the sense that no matter your budget, there was a corner of Vegas waiting just for you. Today, that sense of discovery is gone. The landscape has been flattened into sameness. Independent buffets have been replaced by standardized food halls where the price tag is steep, but the personality is missing. Affordable shows have vanished, leaving only blockbuster productions with tickets that rival a month's rent. Nightlife has consolidated into mega clubs where admission alone can drain your budget before you've even bought a drink. This narrowing of options doesn't just hurt wallets, it kills spontaneity. A city once defined by surprise now funnels visitors into predictable, pre-packaged experiences designed to extract maximum revenue. The magic of stumbling upon something unexpected has been replaced with the monotony of paying premium rates for the same attractions everyone else is herded toward. And here's what makes it sting. When choices disappear in Las Vegas, it echoes the wider reality across America. Rising costs are stripping away alternatives in daily life too, whether it's groceries, housing, or healthcare. What's left are fewer options, higher prices, and the creeping realization that variety is becoming a luxury. Vegas no longer offers the freedom it once promised. Instead, it mirrors a country where choices are shrinking for everyone. The broken formula. For decades, Las Vegas had a simple formula. Keep rooms cheap, keep food affordable, and let the real profits come from the thrill of the casino floor. That equation worked because it made visitors feel like they were getting value even if they lost money gambling. The trip itself still felt like a win. But that balance has been destroyed. Instead of using low prices to bring people through the door, resorts now squeeze guests at every stage. Rooms are no longer discounted to attract foot traffic. They're priced like luxury suites, even in off-season. Dining isn't a bargain, it's a premium experience, even when it isn't. And the casino, once the centerpiece, is now only part of a bigger machine designed to charge more for less. The result? The city is eating itself alive. As costs rise, visitors stay away. To make up for the decline, resorts raise prices again, which drives even more people out. It's a vicious cycle that feeds on itself, a death spiral not unlike what's happening in the broader American economy. Wages stagnate, prices climb, and the very middle class that sustained the system is pushed out. Vegas was supposed to be the escape from that grind. Now, it's simply another chapter in the same story, a place that no longer makes sense economically, where the math of fun doesn't add up. And when the numbers don't work, neither does the dream. The social fallout. The Las Vegas of postcards promised escape. Neon lights, endless entertainment, a city where you could forget your troubles for a weekend. But step outside the resorts today, and you're hit with a reality that's far harder to ignore. On the sidewalks just beyond the casino entrances, homelessness is impossible to miss. Encampments sprawl under overpasses, and people struggle within sight of billion-dollar resorts glowing with excess. Crime, too, has crept closer to the Strip. Reports of thefts, assaults, and scams leave visitors uneasy, constantly checking over their shoulders in a city once sold as carefree. This clash between glitter and grit shocks first-time tourists. They pay premium prices to sip a cocktail in a luxury lounge, only to be confronted with a harsh reminder of inequality the moment they step outside. It's not just uncomfortable, it shatters the illusion that Las Vegas is a bubble of fantasy separate from the struggles of everyday America. And that's the larger truth. What's happening here mirrors the national picture. Rising costs are pushing more Americans into hardship, while wealth concentrates at the top. Vegas, once the stage for escape, now lays bare the divide. Instead of distraction, visitors find confrontation with poverty, with insecurity, with the uncomfortable fact that even America's playground can't hide the cost of living crisis. The machines take over. There was a time when the heartbeat of Las Vegas was human. The dealer who remembered your name, the bartender who knew your drink, the showgirl who smiled as the curtain rose. People gave the city its pulse. But in 2025, that pulse is being replaced by cold efficiency. Walk into a modern casino and you'll see it everywhere. Electronic tables replacing live dealers, kiosks standing where clerks once worked, entire rows of automated games monitored by a single attendant. For management, it's cost savings. For guests, it's alienation. What once felt like connection now feels like a transaction with a machine. This shift isn't just about technology. It's about stripping away the soul of the experience. Gambling used to be a social event, laughing with strangers at a craps table, chatting with a dealer, feeling the room buzz with possibility. Now the silence of digital terminals hangs heavy, as if the city's personality has been coded out of existence. And the symbolism couldn't be clearer. In a nation where automation threatens jobs and corporations prioritize efficiency over people, Las Vegas has become the perfect metaphor. The magic of the city wasn't lost overnight. It was sold, piece by piece, until all that remains is a hollowed-out shell run by machines. For visitors, the message is unmistakable. The city no longer needs you. It only needs your money. Las Vegas didn't collapse because people suddenly stopped liking bright lights, casinos, or shows. It collapsed because the city forgot the deal it made with ordinary Americans. Come here, spend a little, and feel rich for a weekend. That promise has been dismantled, replaced by a city that charges like a luxury brand while delivering less than ever. But here's the truth. What's happening in Vegas is not confined to Nevada. It's part of a much larger pattern, the same one reshaping life across the United States. Prices rise faster than paychecks. Essentials become luxuries. Service disappears while corporations post record profits. And the very experiences that once offered, escape from concerts to vacations, are slipping out of reach for the very people who need them most. Las Vegas is no longer an exception. It's a warning. The city is a mirror, reflecting the cost of living in America back at us in neon and shadows. The shrinking choices, the rising prices, the feeling that the odds are stacked against you. They aren't just found on the Strip. They're in grocery aisles, in rent checks, in medical bills. Vegas is simply the place where the illusion fell apart first. So the question isn't whether Las Vegas can recover. The question is whether America can. Because when even the nation's playground becomes unaffordable, it tells us something bigger has broken. What do you think? Has Vegas lost its soul for good, or can it still reinvent itself? And more importantly, what does its downfall say about the future of living in America?